Welcome back to Nomad Ranch. Today I'm going to take you around and show you a few of the chores I have to do here on the homestead today. So it's been really windy. The last 2 days we had extreme high winds. First high winds that the Clam had to survive through, and I had to take some serious measures. First I had to tie down the corners here, and I have to go back to the hardware store and get more cinder blocks, but they were out, so it's still gonna have to just do with what I did for now. But I put some heavy weights at the corners and hooked them up to bungee cords so that it's pulling tight. I didn't put in the stakes because the stakes they give you are absolute garbage. They're just garbage tent stakes. They're never gonna hold. So I've got the table put here with some weight, a box holding this edge out because I don't have a clip welded onto the container. I had to put a mast in the center. I'll show you here. Now this just got done withstanding over 60-mile-an-hour gusts. This is an 8-foot 2x4 going to the top, and I have it very well bungeed to the top so the top cannot fly up anymore. I have extremely heavy rocks put in all the spots where you normally would put stakes into the ground if this was on dirt. I intend on putting more cinder blocks like these, and I plan on building a 2x4 structure around the inside that will hold the octagon shape and sit on top of the flap that is designed to either be buried in the ground or have heavy stuff put on it. And I may have to build a small, PVC type of inner structure around this. I'm not sure. This thing is not designed for really heavy and really high winds like what we just went through. And it's a little bit of an oversight on my part for putting this thing up and not planning a little bit better for the wind. But to be honest, the wind is going to be too strong out here all the time for this. So we're going to do the best we can to get this, supported so I can keep it up all season. Eventually I'm going to build a permanent structure out here to serve this same purpose. We get really high winds out here, and we're doing the best we can with this Clam. I mean, probably it's going to end up being destroyed. I mean, let's be honest, it's never going to really make it out here. I'm going to do my best with it, but yeah, it's going to be struggling a little bit. And so today I need to add water to the RV. So what I'm going to do is run a nice long hose like I always do, run it along here to the tank, and then I run it to the where I add water into the RV. And I have a portable 12-volt pump that I hook up to pump the water in. Okay, so there it is, pumping water. But I'll tell you what, I've been using this pump setup now for 1.5 years, and not only does it work great here on the property, but it works on the road, which is the most important thing. I can take a 5-gallon container, a 7-gallon container, and I can pump that into my tank. So it allows me to have endless options when it comes to adding water into the RV. Also, this 12-volt pump allows me to have pressurized water pretty much anywhere I go. Like I said, I can just stick it down into a 5-gallon bucket or into a 7-gallon water container, or have it hooked up to my tank. I can use it to wash the RV. I can wash things out. I can add water to the tank. It just allows me all kinds of options. This is what I do usually once a week, sometimes twice a week if we're doing laundry, a couple of times, maybe 3 times a week. When the weather warms up a little more, like last summer, I left this hose out. I left it out and I left it ran on the ground and I left it hooked up to the tank. But I can't do that until it stops being cold at night. And we still have, unfortunately, we still have like 4 or 5 more days that are going to be in the mid-20s at night. I have to have all this stuff put away. I can't let it freeze. I can't let the valve on my tank freeze. So yeah, I have to, and the reason why I have so many of these different colored hoses pieced together is they're all drinking water hoses, okay? In other words, it's drinking water grade. You can't use a normal regular hose, rubber hose, garden hose, because it has things inside of it, or even some of the vinyl ones, that leach into what you're going to drink, and it can affect you. Now, we don't drink any of the water from this tank, okay? This came from a company called Grand Canyon Water, and it comes from their well, and it's been filtered, and then they also put chlorine in it, so it comes to us extremely clean and ready to drink. But me and Sue are very picky. We like to drink you know, actual drinking water, like from the machines, because it has a very consistent taste. Some people, the taste of the water means nothing to them. To me, the taste of the water is everything. Even though we're not going to drink this water, when it comes through that hose, if I use a regular garden hose and I leach some different chemicals and things that come out of the rubber and come out of the vinyl, it still can affect you even when you brush your teeth with it, or if you bathe in it. You know, there are certain parts of your body where the skin almost immediately absorbs anything that's put on it, even water and whatever's in the water. In case you haven't seen in my previous videos of my setup here, so basically at the end of my close to 200 feet of hose, I put a double on off. Basically, this is just a standard RV pump. It runs 2.9 gallons per minute, runs 5.5 amps of 12 volt. And I've hooked it up directly, and then I run it through my 2-stage filter. I still put it through a 2-stage filter. Now, this is a filter that I made myself. I just put 2 of these single units together. And in the first one, I have a dense cotton filter to capture debris and things, and then I have an activated charcoal carbon filter in the second one. I've always filtered clean, drinkable water with this, and yet when I take these 2 filters out, they look like they went through a sewer. And that's what comes through your drinking water. That's what comes through your water from the city. No matter where you live, there's usually crud in the water. I mean, we used to live in Oregon where we had supposedly really clean water, and still it had fluoride in it. And you can tell if there's fluoride in your water if around your faucets you get like this very light pink stain that kind of feels slimy. That's the fluoride. And if you don't know this about your RV tank, because most people don't know, it's hidden under your bed or it's hidden, but when you fill your RV tank up, your freshwater, it bulges. It bulges in the middle. It actually allows more water in the tank than what the tank is designed to hold. If I fill this thing up until the water comes out the fill hole, I have 70 gallons, and this tank is a 60. So just to give you an idea, that's how it works. And it's that way with all of your tanks. There's no baffles in them. They don't make RV tanks that way. That's just a little something going on behind the scenes in your RV. And the reason why RV gauges are not very accurate here, I'll just break a little corner of this off. These are your level indicators. So as soon as this one is the only one to have signal, it says your tank's empty. Well, when it says the tank's empty, it still has about 1/6 of a tank left. As soon as you get just a tiny bit below this, it says you're empty, even though you technically have a third of a tank, okay? Same way when you get just a tiny bit below this sensor, it'll read 1/3, even though you actually have closer to 2/3 of a tank. And so if you're full one, it will read full as soon as it gets to here, even though it can still hold another 15 gallons. So that means the first 15 gallons I use, it still says full. And then as soon as it gets just barely below this, it will read 2/3 full, even though it's almost full. Okay, just like that, I got my cover back on the valve, my insulation cover, which did not freeze, even when we saw, I think it was 2 degrees. Nope, didn't freeze. Worked great. In case you're wondering, the water level on my tank is about here, right in the middle, so we still have about 1,200 gallons or so. Here's my hose, all coiled up, all the water drained out of it, ready to put away. So what I do is walk it back, and I put it back away in the shipping container. Normally I store this hose in the RV when I'm traveling, but and there it is, back in the container. I just would like to address the comments briefly. First of all, I really appreciate and I thank everybody who takes the time to participate in the comments. I really do appreciate it. And I'm going to do my best to answer each and every one of you if I can. Looks like my little helper just woke up from her nap. So any of you are wondering what we do with our trash out here, I burn everything I can. The only thing we throw away is plastic and styrofoam and things like that. Everything else we burn. And we compost. We have a composting bin and we compost all of our food scraps. So we don't have a lot of trash that goes to town. Actually, today was my trash burning day. It was something I was supposed to do, but I got up this morning and the wind started up out of nowhere, so I can't burn when it's windy. A lot of times in the morning, the wind doesn't start for at least a couple hours, so I usually have time in the early morning hours, and it just didn't have it today. And she's out here checking out the firewood. No, you can't eat firewood, baby. Come on, come on, come on, Scout. Come on, come on, baby. Good girl. Come on, come on, Scout. Come on, Scout. Come on. Come here, baby. Good girl. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Look at you. What a good girl. What a good girl. You go potty? Go potty? Go potty, Scouty? Come on. Come on, sweetie. Come on, let's go inside. Come on. Come on. All right, let's see if she can climb the stairs on her own. Okay, go inside. Go on. Go on. Good girl. Good girl. Ah, she made it up the steps. So here's an update on these ropes that I've set up to hold the slide out topper from flapping. The rags I put on there kind of worked their way off, but it's been up here for almost a month now and it's been working great. We've had no significant flapping from the slide topper, and it's windy right now. Normally it would be flapping. We got probably about a 15 to a 20 mile an hour wind right now. Normally it'd be flapping around, and it's not. It's been working really good. Even yesterday when we had extreme winds and we had 60+ mile an hour gusts, we did not have to bring the slide out in, which has been fantastic. And the same with the one here on the bedroom. It's been keeping the flapping to a minimum, and we have not had to bring the slide in yet. So very good. I'm very impressed. It's always nice when you put something up and it actually works. And the booster antenna is holding up nicely. Allows us to get good internet signal out here, and honestly, I get better internet signal out here in the middle of nowhere than I do in town, parked right next to the giant cell phone tower. As amazing as that is.